Welcome to Tech Report. I'm Nigel Freitas. Thanks for joining us today. A lot to come up on the show for you. The future of security. Is it biometric? And just who is responsible for securing your data? Plus, Microsoft making big changes with a new CEO. What's on his agenda? But first today, Google's Chromebook 11 hit stores here last week, and one company says sales will take off as more organisations move to the cloud. New Zealand-based Fronde sees cloud adoption accelerating further in 2014, with many barriers to its adoption now falling. Well, for more on what we can expect, I'm joined now by Don McLean from Fronde, Australia. Don, welcome to Tech Report today. The Google Chromebook was an interesting product. It kind of launched, no one really knew what it was, and was ticking away under the covers, but now really surging into prominence. Some good sales results there as people realise its potential. What does it mean, the launch of the new Chromebook? What will it mean for cloud adoption here in Australia?
I think it means that cloud adoption will accelerate. I think 2014, for instance, is the year where businesses no longer need hardware. They can use the Chromebook to access all the information they need in their data centres, and we at Fronde believe it's the way of the future.
There's a big debate, though, about the Chromebook because, I mean, for our audience's benefit, this laptop or this notebook, you really have to be connected to the internet to get any kind of value. So if you're offline, won't you struggle?
There are some aspects that Google has built into the Chromebook that will allow you to work on the airplane. You can use your spreadsheet, you can use your Word document. So there are elements. Heaven forbid that we will be on flights to New Zealand or Los Angeles with internet access pretty soon as well. So that kind of negates some of the objections that people have.
We live in hope that Wi-Fi will be introduced on planes very shortly. Now, you made a comment there, the end of hardware. That's a pretty big call to make. What do you mean by that?
So what I don't mean is I don't mean that anybody's going to get rid of any of the laptops or your devices or whatever. What I mean is that the time for businesses to invest capital in all the back office systems is over. There really is no need. You can now use an operating expense rather than a capital expense. 80% of the costs of business for IT are in just keeping the lights on, doing exactly the same year on year. What we do is we liberate people from that so that they can use some of that money for innovation.
Now, I want to put to you a comment or a quote from your CEO, James Valentine. He said, cloud it's coming, it's unstoppable, it's the next big thing. But the reverse view of that is all it takes is one big security hack,
sure,
and customers are nervous and your brand could potentially be destroyed. So while cloud has benefits, there are still massive risks.
There's a risk to business no matter what you do, and the way we look at it is that every business has got to weigh up those risks, whether it's an IT decision or it's putting money on the market. So it's no different, and it's really about just reducing those risks. Our partners like Google, NetSuite, Salesforce have got many people working in security, and we believe that their expertise is far greater than what a business would have having an on-premise machine.
Now, you talked about being a Google partner there, so you may not have an entirely objective view on this next question, but how are you seeing this cloud battle play out between Google Apps and Google Docs on one side and Microsoft 365 on the other?
That's a great question. For us, I think it's more about the fact that the cloud is now here. All of the big companies, whether it's Google, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's NetSuite, and we say bring it on. I think Microsoft have got big pockets. I think with the change of leadership, I think they're undoubtedly going to be a big competitor. And with competition, you get choice, and with choice, you get great solutions.
Okay, so both of them will be featuring quite prominently in future cloud implementations. In terms of what's driving an organisation to the cloud, and I said this about 12 months ago or 18 months ago, the primary driver is cost. Is that still correct?
It is cost, but it's also about innovation. It's about doing things differently. It's about, as Amazon Web Services would have you know, it's about innovating quickly. So it's about failing quickly. So if you're going to do something, use the cloud to do it quickly, either succeed quickly, obviously, or fail quickly. So it's not just about cost. It's also about business productivity.
Let's talk about your business in particular. It seems to be another New Zealand tech company that's doing well, a whole range of them suddenly. You want to hit $200 million in sales. Yes. You're currently at $60 million. How do you plan to bridge that gap?
We bridge that gap purely by bringing solutions to our customers, solving their problems by taking them to the cloud. and helping them across various guises in doing that. It's quite simple, really.
Are you hoping to be the next Xero?
I don't think we're in the same market as Xero. Where Xero ends, where Xero is really for small businesses, that's where we start. Do we aspire to be the next Xero? Of course. Doesn't everybody?
Now, you've opened an office here in Sydney late last year after an acquisition, Online One. What are your plans for the Australian market? Is it simply trying to help small to medium or large enterprises make this migration to the cloud?
Yes, it is. It's very much that. I mean, prior to our acquisition by Fronde, we were very much concentrated on the NetSuite ERP product, but now we've expanded that into Google, Salesforce, Amazon Web Services, Adaptive Insights, a whole host and variety of products that we can add value to customers with.
All right, Don. Well, another New Zealand tech company that we'll be keeping our eyes on, and a potential listing on the way?
We'll see.
Okay, fantastic. Don, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.